Welcome to Crafting with Carrie. Our project today is creating large envelopes out of full-sized book pages. And you'll see here that to get the front of the page to be upright, you start with the book page being upside down. So that way when you flip the bottom up and the top down, it looks upright. I marked two little spots on my circle punch that allows me to be very quick in creating those notches. And then to make those notches stand out, it's always nice to add some ink, and then of course going around all the edges to make them just have an extra little pizzazz. I always enjoy these types of projects when you use up all those extra little bits of scraps. You can create some beautiful things and empty those scrap envelopes. One thing that you'll notice is I have that little piece, that strip on the edge of the envelope. I went through and put that on every single envelope before I started. Sometimes I find that when things are blank, it can kind of give you a block. So for these, I put that on there just so that it had already had a start before I even got there. And that can help me sometimes to get things going, because it's already, it's like a canvas when people paint the canvas with red or blue or things like that, that it's not blank when you start. And for me, that's how it helps me with these envelopes, is to have that strip there, that it's not blank before I get to it. The reason that I'm having to make so many envelopes is because I have created a bunch of mixed media ephemera packages that I wanted to put the smaller pieces together and hold them together nicely. And I just thought, why not use some of the extra large pages to hold them together and make a nice little added bonus envelope and make it a little bit pretty. Right now is a good time if you're interested in getting a mixed media paper pack from myself. I am having a limited time offer for the month of April to receive this package for 25% off plus an extra 25 images. My paper packs have all kinds of book pages and different picture books, dictionary, different languages. I've got my patterns and coffee dyed paper, all the typical kind of junk journal ephemera type things that you would find in there. You can see as I'm playing with this love image that I've got these Fiskars scissors. I have really rediscovered my edging scissors with Fiskars. I've had them for many years, and it's funny how you go in and out of using certain tools that you have, and those are definitely one of the tools that I've rediscovered lately, and I'm absolutely in love with them again. They're really a simple tool that you can do so much with. This little piece of paper that I've got here is an old technique that I want to rediscover, where years ago we would put shaving cream down and put ink on top of it on this, and put a photo paper down to create a marbling effect. I'll have to try that again someday soon. It was so much fun. That's the other thing about going through all your scrap papers, is you see all these techniques and things that you have done in the past and re-inspire you. Adding some doodling, I think, is often underrated. It can just add so much to an element, and it's just so much fun, just and simple. Just add some dots and dashes and lines, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's for your enjoyment. There was a time when almost all of the artwork in my scrapbooks and journals was doodling. I didn't have all the fancy tools and stickers and paper that I have now, so it was all created by markers and pens and pencils. Lots of times I save these teeny tiny little pieces, and this is why, because they can come together to make these just, to me, gorgeous little pieces of ephemera. And I wouldn't necessarily think to rip up something larger to make that. But when all the pieces are scattered on the desk and they fall together, they kind of create themselves, and they just come together and create something beautiful. It just shocks me how I'm creating this little thing that I'm so excited about, and then the moment I go to glue it down, I just completely forget the order and the position that I have it in. So please tell me I'm not alone out there. I had to laugh at myself. I was getting frustrated. The moment I flip it over, I had to cut it out of the video because it was just too long for you guys to see me fiddle and frustrate. But it came together beautifully, and I found the little word darling to stick on there, and yeah. Here I just felt like it needed something a little bit more to balance it out, so I found this teeny tiny little scrap to add to the top left. This one I had a heck of a time figuring out how I wanted it to look, and rewatching this video, there were several times where I'm thinking that would have been just fine. That would have been just fine. But when you're in the middle of making it, there's a feeling that goes along with creating things, and none of those arrangements had the feeling that I wanted for some reason. So I had to just keep going. I finally got the elements into a layered, kind of angled position that I thought I could work with, and decided I just needed to clip them down and keep on moving. I liked the idea of them having a bit of each of them showing, so I just decided to staple them together. And then I knew I wanted to have some sort of a fabric detail there, so I grabbed this thread. It was actually from the 1880s scrapbook that I've been scanning and putting up on some of the pages up on my Etsy page. There's some amazing pictures in that book, and I didn't want to waste any piece of this beautiful book, so I'm adding some of the string from the binding of that book into a lot of my little elements here. I found these adorable little children to add on as the focal point, and this black background is actually an old needles, like where the needles would be in the little paper case. And of course, remembering only to glue half of the entire element seemed to be a challenge for me. And here we go. This is a run through of all of the envelope toppers that I created. I hope you enjoy seeing them. I hope this has given you some inspiration for your own crafting. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. If you're interested in getting a mixed media paper pack, please hop on over to my Etsy page and pick one up for the month of April. They are 25% off with the bonus. Happy crafting!